Good evening and welcome to Nta News Top Table, where you'll get the true picture of events as they unfold and, of course, a better look at issues in our communities and how they impact our national life. Tonight, Nigerians to travel during this Yuletide at half the cost. Government to cover 50% of transportation costs this season. Conditional grants transfer and the transfer of excitement to small and medium enterprises. The Nigerian automotive sector and its drive to ensure better cars on Nigerian roads. But there could be a few bumps on the way. And in politics, calm returns to Rivers at last, as Rivers State Assembly withdraws impeachment notice on Governor Fubara. We also have stories on sheer human determination, health, the environment, agriculture, security, and sports. And with 11 days to the end of 2023, some sector analysts have beamed their searchlights on efforts to revamp key areas of the nation's economy. And what is the scorecard? These and other stories are on our lineup tonight. I'm Ray John, and this is News Extra. Welcome. The federal government has announced 50% discount on luxury buses transport fares and free train services on interstate travels during the Yuletide. Presidential Committee on Intervention on Public Transportation, led by the Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dele Alake, announced this during a briefing at the State House. The intervention to cushion the usual high cost of transportation during festivities will run from Thursday, 21st December 2023 to January 4th, 2024.
In recognition of the economic situation of the country, which the President is working hard to turn around, President Tinubu wants Nigerians to be able to travel within Nigeria to wherever they want to go to meet their loved ones without the extra burden of paying exorbitantly for interstate public transportation. It is in this wise that the President is announcing through us that beginning from tomorrow, that's the 21st of December, Nigerians willing to travel can board public transport via luxury buses at 50% discount of current cost, and all our train services on the routes the trains currently serve at zero cost to and fro on their travels this holiday season.
The intent of this program is to bring succor to the passengers traveling on the major route. So we are going to run 22 routes on the luxurious buses.
This is part of the measures that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu intends to be doing. It's not a one-off thing. And even though it is targeted at Christmas, the President will continue to review situations, especially national holidays like this, and see what kind of interventions can come going forward.
That's cheering news there. Just in case we're planning not to travel, it's time to pack your bags. All right. The commitment by the Tinubu administration to create jobs and the growth of the micro, small and medium enterprises have taken another step with the inauguration of the corporate headquarters of the Small and Medium Enterprises Development Agency of Nigeria. Vice President Kashim Shettima at the inauguration said this is part of measures to create an organized, effective business sector that will support Nigeria's sustainable economic growth agenda. State House correspondent Abdurrahman Jibrila reports.
My singular honor and privilege honor forever to commission the benefit for the cause of
39 million small businesses across Nigeria are expected to benefit from this edifice. Initiating and articulating policy ideas for small and medium enterprises growth and development is crucial to national development.
These enterprises not only stand as the very bedrock of our society, but also reflect the direction the government is headed and the velocity with which we do so. This moment solidifies His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's assurance to protect our enterprises. It resonates deeply within our economic revitalization plan. President Tinubu's focus on job creation, capital accessibility, economic growth, and poverty eradication form the very skeleton of our strategy to reinvigorate the economy. And inevitably, this path demands tough decisions, yet ones essential.
Promoting and facilitating development programs, instruments and support services to accelerate the development and modernization of micro, small and medium enterprises operations.
This is a fantastic edifice, and what they've done is that they have different clusters where SMEs can walk in for training and even get certified. So we're really impressed with what the DG and his team are doing. A small business can walk into this complex today, access loans to get raw materials, go into our shared facilities, process their products, and warehouse the product, and almost immediately get the product to be distributed as a result of all the MOUs that have come together and we have aligned to ease the lives of small businesses in Nigeria.
The conditional grant scheme aimed at providing financial support to scale up businesses and the Industrial Development Center within the edifice. The launch of the garment industry with 135 sewing machines added to the inauguration aimed to help the growing competitive enterprises across the nation. In Abuja, Abraham Jibrila, NTA News.
Similarly, the disbursement of loans worth 75 billion naira to micro, small and medium enterprises and 30 million naira to nano businesses across the country, many believe is a promise kept by the federal government. Muplang Dakok reports that this is as the Small and Medium Enterprises Development Agency, SMIDEN, in Abuja, officially opened to serve the 9.6 million MSMEs in the country.
30 million naira is being disbursed to nano business owners in the FCT, with each receiving 50,000 naira under the conditional grant scheme to formalize and support their businesses. Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment says the program will be replicated in the 36 states of the country.
This scheme is designed to uplift our entrepreneurs, ensuring that they have the necessary resources to scale their businesses and contribute meaningfully to the nation's economic prosperity.
Beneficiaries say they are determined to keep producing despite the economic realities confronting the country.
I want to really appreciate federal government for the support of giving, especially we, people with disability. This is to show that our Nigeria has been coming to get to know that people with disability need support.
We need a lot more support from NAFDAC, getting our numbers out faster. Without numbers, without NAFDAC numbers, you can't really penetrate even the market here in Nigeria. That's something that would help SMEs a lot. The other one is power, infrastructure.
SMIDEN has provided innovation hubs within the complex where common facility centers are provided for furniture, garment making and plastic packaging towards improving the competitiveness of MSMEs. In Abuja, Muplang Dakok, NTA News.
Many thanks, Moplang. Away from MSMEs now, the call to duty from another arm in service to the nation. You may say, immediate past Minister of Labour and Employment Simon Bako Lalong now bears the title of Distinguished as added to his name. Lalong was sworn in as the senator representing Southern Zone of Plateau State following an appellate court judgment in his favour. Senator Lalong calls it homecoming because his political journey began in the legislature at the state level. National Assembly correspondent Lamiali brings us details.
The court had on 7th November 2023 affirmed Lalong as the duly elected senator representing Southern Zone of Plateau State while serving as a minister of the Federal Republic. Lalong resigned his position as the Labour and Employment Ministry to enable him take up his seat in the Senate.
As a member of the Senate,
I will perform my functions.
I will perform my functions
Honestly to the best of my ability.
honestly to the best of my ability.
Faithfully in accordance with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Faithfully in accordance with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
We look forward to getting his robust ideas on all items on our agenda paper. So, Senator Lalong, once again, congratulations on your inauguration today.
Meanwhile, Senate President declares vacant the seats of Ebonyi South and Yobe East senatorial districts. The two seats were occupied by Senator David Umahi and Senator Ibrahim Gaidam, who are now serving ministers. President Tinubu has transmitted to the Senate the list of 11 new justices of the Supreme Court for screening and confirmation. In another development, the Senate Committee on Finance has given 24 hours to the Registrar General of the Corporate Affairs Commission to appear before the committee.
And directing the Inspector General of Police to mandate the RG to appear before the Committee on Finance within 24 hours.
Meanwhile, the committee has asked the management of National Lottery Regulatory Commission to improve on its revenue in 2024. During its engagements with Nigeria Maritime Administration and Security Agency, the committee requested the managing director to forward more of its financial documents for scrutiny. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, Nta News.
Oh yes, another sigh of relief for road users traveling for the Yuletide. The state of the federal highways comes in focus as the House of Representatives passes a resolution urging the Federal Ministry of Works and Housing to repair failed portions of federal highways to make road travel easier for commuters during the Yuletide. National Assembly correspondent Nta News reports on this and other deliberations at plenary.
It is expected that the hike in air tickets may compel many Nigerians to resort to traveling by road for the Yuletide. Lawmakers at plenary, however, call attention to the dilapidated state of some federal roads in the country.
Federal highways, including the Gombe Road, are in deplorable condition, leading to numerous road crashes and insecurity risks.
Immediately commence repairs of the failed section of the roads, especially Iseluku-Asaba-Onitsha Express Road, or in the alternative, enter an agreement with state governments to fix the roads and be reimbursed in the near future.
After some debate, the House adopted a motion requesting the Central Bank of Nigeria to explore mechanisms of implementing the use of the Chinese yuan as an additional foreign exchange reserve currency to mitigate the depreciation of the naira.
The International Monetary Fund proposed diversification of foreign exchange reserve for Central Bank of Developing Countries, which Nigeria is one.
The way to strengthen your currency is to expand your productive and industrial base, create jobs for your people, improve on infrastructure, not adopting the foreign currencies of other countries.
Calling for the full implementation of the adoption of the Chinese yuan that had already taken place in 2018.
Those in support of the motion as amended, say aye.
Aye.
Those against, say nay. The ayes have it.
Also adopted was a motion seeking the suspension of the policy of additional aptitude test for direct entry students as proposed by the Joint Admissions and Matriculations Board, JAMB.
Emphasizing the need for sensitivity to the economic challenges faced by students and their families.
Several bills scaled second reading, seeking establishment of critical institutions.
A federal medical center in Oke-LGA will provide specialized maternal and child health care services, including parental care, delivery services, and postnatal care.
Establish Federal Medical Center, Fagi, Kano State, in order to provide timely medical care for the entire people living in that area.
Meanwhile, 18 bills from the 9th Assembly have been referred to the Committee of the Whole for reconsideration. From the National Assembly, Nta News, Nta News.
Still in the National Assembly, the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, denies any increase in the cost of examination registration fees in spite of the prevailing economic situation in the country. This was during an investigative hearing with House Committee on Basic Education. National Assembly correspondent Amina Saidu reports that the registrar, Ishaq Oloyede, and his team also answered questions on budget performance and defended the 2024 proposals.
Chairman House Committee on Basic Education commended efforts of JAMB management for being transparent and responsive.
We are going to provide value, addition and maximum support for the agency under us and x-ray their challenges with a view to profiling solution with the use of legislative instruments.
On some grey areas, the registrar alongside the Office of Accountant General gave reasons for some discrepancies, gave a room for reconciliation.
We have not increased the cost. What we have just done is to allow the CBT center to charge more than they are charging. But because we are going to collect it for them, why are we collecting? We are collecting because if we leave them alone, they will extort these students and they will be collecting 4,000, 5,000. That's why we say, pay to us, we will transfer to you weekly.
Members of the committee harped on resolution of issues related to employment of new staff, university admissions and computer-based test centers.
Your disposal of fixed assets, especially auctioning of some of your boarded equipment, vehicles and so on.
I see that the board used 5 and 15% in the depreciation of assets, building and infrastructure.
At the end of the hearing, a motion was passed for JAMB to supply some documents to support submissions made during the investigative hearing. From the National Assembly, Amina Saidu, Nta News.
Beehive of activities at the National Assembly, I must tell you, and the Senate Committee on Judiciary has screened 11 nominees for appointment as justices of the Supreme Court of Nigeria, awaiting confirmation by the Senate. National Assembly correspondent Isa Mohammed has the details.
The Judiciary Committee screened 11 nominees for elevation from judges of appeal court to justices of the Supreme Court of Nigeria, as requested by the President in a closed-door screening session. The chairman of the committee, Muhammad Tahir Mongonu, says they have carried out their statutory mandate provided by Section 231, Subsection 2 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended.
The exercise was seamless. The nominees were asked various questions as to their career and career progression, and they have answered the question creatively well.
The nominees are Justice Jumai Sanke, Justice Mohammed Idris, and Justice Stephen Ada from North Central, while Justice Jamilu Tukur, Justice Abubakar Umar from North West, and Justice Haruna Tamani from Northeast. Others include Justice Chidebere Uwa, Justice Chioma Eheme, and Justice Obande Festus from Southeast, while Justice Mo Abraham from the South-South and Justice Habib Adewale comes from the Southwest. Their confirmation will hold at the Committee of the Whole of the Senate. Meanwhile, the House Committee on Petroleum Training Fund had an interactive section with Petroleum Technology Development Fund on its mandate to train Nigerians on capacity building and research, oil and gas industry for manpower development. From the National Assembly, Isa Muhammad, Nta News.
All right, we're done with the National Assembly now. Women judges in Nigeria have resolved to work collectively with the support of relevant stakeholders towards dismantling gender barriers in the legal community and ensuring justice within the courtrooms. This was during a zonal workshop organized by the National Association of Women Judges in Kano. Abdullahi Mustafa has the details.
Until 2012, Nigerian judiciary never had as its head a female judicial officer. Also, the first time the nation's apex court has a woman among its justices was in 2005, following the elevation of Justice Alomabare Mukhtar who was to become a CJN 7 years later. Removing barriers limiting adequate representation of women, especially in the legal profession, informed a 2-day brainstorming session by women judges.
If a woman is hardworking, if she is capable, if she is competent to handle any position, the issue of gender should not come in as a barrier for her to attain that position.
Although a significant progress has been achieved, stakeholders at the session feel the legal practice should flourish devoid of gender barriers, thereby reflecting the principles of justice, fair play, and equity that it represents.
The lack of diligent mentoring on the side of our women lawyers.
As key actors in the noble profession, the women judges left with a renewed commitment to advocate and work towards dismantling all barriers in the legal community. In Kano, Abdullahi Mustafa, Nta News.
And from Kano, we head to Rivers State, where members of the Rivers State House of Assembly have withdrawn the notice of impeachment earlier served on Governor Siminalayi Fubara. The notice of withdrawal was contained in a letter read by the Speaker, Martins Amaiwule, at the House sitting in Port Harcourt. Senam Bamigboye reports.
The Speaker, Rivers State House of Assembly, Martins Amaiwule, says the withdrawal is in line with the conflict resolution intervention instituted by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The House lauded President Tinubu for what they described as his fatherly role in the settlement of the issues.
Withdraw the notice of impeachment of His Excellency Sir Siminalayi Fubara, SSRS, Governor of Rivers State. Brought portion to section 188 the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as altered and dated 30th October 2023. The said notice, which indicated the various particulars of gross misconduct, was signed by 24 members, was laid before this House on the 30th October 2023. We will not be proceeding with this course of action following the agreement which, after a reconciliatory meeting, convened by His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Speaker Amaiwule says the House would continue to perform its constitutional functions of lawmaking and oversight for the development of Rivers State. The sitting was held Wednesday in the auditorium of the House of Assembly quarters on Abar Road, Port Harcourt, converted to an assembly chamber via a motion at the last plenary. In Port Harcourt, Senam Bamigboye, Nta News.
And still on the political issue in Rivers State, the People's Democratic Party rejects the peace deal brokered by President Bola Tinubu over the crisis between the Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara and his predecessor, Federal Capital Territory Minister Nyesom Wike. Addressing a press conference at the party's headquarters in Abuja, the acting national chairman of the party, Umar Damagum, insists that Rivers State House of Assembly members that defected from PDP to APC had willingly vacated their seats. Timothy Yusuf reports.
The national chairman, Umar Damagum, on the resolution of the feud between the governor of Rivers State, Sim Fubara, and his predecessor and FCT minister, Nyesom Wike, by President Bola Tinubu. He noted that the right thing for the 25 lawmakers who defected to the All Progressives Congress APC to do was to prepare for a fresh election under any political party they want, as the PDP had already written to the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to prepare for fresh polls in the affected constituencies.
The national leadership of the PDP charges all members of our great party in Rivers State to remain united and resolute in the defense of constitutional democracy and rule of law in Rivers.
Meanwhile, a coalition of 10 civil society groups cutting across the 6 geopolitical zones have expressed confidence in the leadership ability of the Rivers State Governor, Sim Fubara, and appealed to the PDP not to shift grounds on its call for conduct of fresh elections to replace the defected 25 lawmakers. Leader of coalition Wisdom Ikuli, in a press briefing in Abuja, insists let the law take its course.
And we urge INEC to expedite action in conducting by-elections to fill those 27 vacant positions.
In the meantime, elder statesman and Ijaw leader Edwin Clark has added his voice to the development in Rivers State, calling for peace among the political class. He enjoined the people of Rivers State to shun divisive comments capable of overheating the polity. Timothy Yusuf, Nta News.
Time for a break. Please stay. Welcome back. President Bola Tinubu is a leader who is not static, but moving with time and listening to the plight of Nigerians. This is from the Minister of Information and National Orientation during an engagement with the management of Voice of Nigeria. Salihu Gwanara reports.
Challenge you, the Voice of Nigeria, and the Director General, the management and staff of Voice of Nigeria to ensure that this message of hope, this message of prosperity, this message about friendliness, about cooperation, all the positives about this country is taken out there so that people outside these shows will know what the new government of President Bola Tinubu is all about.
Government renewed vigor towards economic prosperity and social harmony are some of the gains highlighted.
Repeatedly, the president has said, come and bring your dollar or pound or shilling or whatever to this country. You will be free to repatriate them back to wherever it came from. Nobody is going to hold any investor to ransom. You will not bring your money and your money cannot come out. There can never be a freer environment, a friendlier environment to invest in Nigeria at this time.
He challenged public broadcasters to maintain their lead in discharging their mandate of protecting the nation's integrity and promoting its prosperity.
You also know that the engagement that the government has had with the organized labor led to the president and the federal government approving 35,000 wage awards. Now, this is not a final wage award, and the federal government has encouraged states and the organized private sector to also take on this initiative.
We're in a very important moment in the history of our country, and we're very happy that the President and Commander-in-Chief has set the momentum, which you have consistently been carrying, not just in Nigeria, but also around the world.
Voice of Nigeria is broadcasting in 8 languages, 4 local and 4 international. In Abuja, Saliu Gwanara, Nta News.
The president of the Human Rights Council, Václav Baclek of Czech Republic, announces the appointment of Mohammed Chande Othman of Tanzania, Joy Ezilu of Nigeria, and Mona Rishmawi of Jordan, Switzerland, to serve as the 3 independent members of the new independent international fact-finding mission for the Sudan. Mr. Othman will serve as chair of the mission. The Human Rights Council established the fact-finding mission in October to investigate and establish facts, circumstances and root causes of all alleged human rights violations, abuses and violations of international humanitarian law, including those committed against refugees and related crimes in the context of the ongoing armed conflict that began on 15th April 2023. Between the Sudanese Armed Forces and the Rapid Support Forces. The president of the Human Rights Council sought recommendations from various stakeholders and expressions of interest to find highly qualified and impartial candidates to fill these positions. The mission members will serve in their personal capacities and will not be paid salaries for their work. Moving on now. Trade and investment, whether in small, medium and large scale, is often targeted at maximum profit. But traders frequently earn more profit compared to investors when they make the right decisions. And the market is performing accordingly, especially at festive seasons. Zarama Market, one of the oldest markets in Bayelsa State, has the potential of contributing to the nation's gross domestic product, if the seeming challenges are addressed. Ebinemi Zetimiola takes the story from here.
Zarama Market is a commercial powerhouse of the Zarama people. It is strategically located along the Bayelsa axis of the East-West Road and open for business as a weekly market every Fridays. It is not clear when the market started, But natives say economic activities within the area dates back to over 50 years.
This market was given to us by our fathers.
The market has grown to become a choice destination for the purchase of wide variety of farm produce. Buyers from Edo, Delta, Bayelsa, Rivers and Far Lagos shop on wholesale and retail basis. Mrs. Elizabeth Ofwe, a plantain merchant, has been trading in this market for 40 years.
I started this market in 1982. The market will take the belly full, but sometimes it weak us.
It's more than 8 years where I don't do the business. Where I don't consider my market. And when I start the business, in the next 2 years, I don't even build house. But since that time now, I'm shorting now, I just see.
I'm a graduate. I've been searching for a job for the past 3 years now. There is no job, so I have to join my mom in her business.
Before now, the market was lying on the bank of Taylor Creek and was accessible through the maze of water bodies. The public is therefore calling for the building and expansion of a modern market to address the situation.
Come on Friday, the market that like today, you see people hanging along the road, that East-West Road, which is not good, and it causes a lot of accidents.
They are also optimistic that if the farmers are supported with farm inputs like improved seedlings and fertilizer, weed and pest control chemicals, they will be able to produce more and contribute to the nation's gross domestic product. Ebinimi Zitemiola, Nta News.
Many thanks, Ebinemi. Beautiful package there. Others need to address some of the issues raised in that report because a lot of Nigerians earn their livelihoods from patronizing such markets, or if you like, doing business in such markets. And I've got a businessman right here. Benny is here. Benny, what's the latest?
Thank you and welcome to Business. Nigeria's new $19 billion oil refinery has received 1 million barrels of oil from Shell International Trading and Shipping, its second crude cargo this month, as it steps up preparations to begin operations. The operations here are expected to turn Africa's largest oil producer into a net exporter of fuels, as the refinery expects more cargoes to be supplied by state oil firm NNPC Limited this month. Nigeria's oil OPEC Plus quota for next year is 1.5 million barrels per day, but the government says it plans to produce 1.8 million barrels to ensure supplies to the new private plant and state-owned refineries that are being upgraded. This is as Brent benchmark for Nigeria's crude oil rose $1.62 to $79.21 per barrel, while the U.S. West Texas Intermediate futures gained 1.6% to $73.63 per barrel. And moving on, Zambia has received direct budget support from the French government amounting to 23 million euros. The government of Zambia and France have also signed 2 agreements and 2 joint declarations of intent in the areas of minerals and critical metals, water sanitation, management, forest management, and public finance management. President Hakainde Hichilema described the support as a milestone for Zambia and proof of government's sound economic management policies.
The pricing per ton of carbon, we must all know that this is the price. Right now, the price ranges from $8 to $110 per ton. And we in Zambia now don't want to sign anything anyhow until we have this market structured properly, until the pricing is agreed properly. Number 3, the revenue sharing.
Markets closed higher Wednesday as investors digested fresh inflation data, just as Asia markets rose Wednesday, with Japan stocks extending gains to another session after the country's central bank left its ultra-loose monetary policy unchanged at its final meeting this year. Let's take a look at the figures. And back home, Nigerian equities retains a bull run as the market's all-share index appreciated by 1.29%. Total of 554.6 million shares in 7,910 deals, corresponding to a market value of 12.8 billion, were traded. Today's data shows 35% improvement in volume, 85% improvement in turnover, and 15% improvement in deals. The current market's capitalization is 40.2 trillion naira. Guarantee Trust Holdings recorded the highest volume of 89.5 million traded shares, followed by Access Holdings, 59.7 million, and Transcorp Nigeria, 52 million. That is business news. News Extra continues with Yere. Yere, it's nice doing business with you.
Many thanks, Benny. This is your season, by the way. I hope you're making huge profits.
For sure.
All right. Nigerian Breweries PLC is poised to expand its tentacles in the liquor sector of the food and beverage industry. The largest brewing company in Nigeria is set to do this with shareholders' approval of 80% equity stake in distilled wines and spirits, including 100% import business of Heineken Beverages Holdings Limited. Joel Ukwola reports.
Nigerian Breweries PLC is committed to maintaining its leadership position in alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverages through diversification to boost revenue, taking into account the needs of other segments of the society. This extraordinary general meeting, chaired by Asue Igodalo, provided a platform to exchange ideas on how to gain stronger foothold in the ever-evolving market and advance its expansion and acquisition plans. Impressed by the meticulous research and due diligence involved in the acquisition process, the shareholders unanimously ratified and overwhelmingly voted in favor of it.
We believe by the acquisition of Distell Nigeria, we'll be able to make inroads in other categories, in wines, in spirits and in RTDs, that will take Nigerian breweries from strength to strength.
We need to diversify our production base so we can diversify revenue, diversify earnings. We've also studied the changing consumption patterns, and we see also that it's a new area in which we should go into and investing so that we can meet the new changing consumption patterns and people's tastes, particularly the younger ones.
We did all the due diligence using one of the big four companies in Nigeria. We brought in the legal advisors. We had to look at the strategic rationale, whether or not there is a fit between this company that we are going to acquire and Nigerian Breweries PLC.
The prospect of increase in share value is already generating excitement among shareholders.
It's a very welcome development that Nigerian Breweries is taking over Heineken's 80% of Heineken's, and is to create more wealth for Nigerian Breweries shareholders.
Amendment of Articles of Association to ensure smooth administration of the company was also discussed at the meeting. In Lagos, Joel Ukwola, Nta News.
Transforming lives through its innovative initiative is what Nigeria's foremost indigenous telecommunications and digital solutions provider, Globacom, has continuously achieved. The telecom giant has again produced landlords and winners of return tickets in the Glow Festival of Joy 2023 promo. Lynn Leneke witnessed the presentation of the premium prize in Lagos.
Christmas came early for Moses Sado, a dedicated Globacom subscriber, as he took possession of the premium prize of ongoing Globacom Festival of Joy promotion, a 3-bedroom bungalow located at Lakwe axis of Lagos. All Moses did was to participate in the promo by recharging his phone with a cumulative sum of between 50,000 and 100,000 naira within the promo period.
I only have one line, to be honest with you, and it's Glow Line. I've been using this Glow Line now for over 15 years. I've not changed this line for any other line. So I encourage everyone that is not using Glow Line to port to Glow right away so that you can be a winner.
The winner emerged through electronic draws supervised by regulatory agencies and management of Globacom. There are 2 more houses to be won, with a business class return ticket to Paris and London. The promo, according to Globacom, continues till the end of January 2024, as more subscribers will stand a chance of winning a house or plane tickets this festive season.
This is a season of giving. This is a season when everybody is happy. It's a season of harvest, and we feel it is the right time for us to actually reward our loyal customers. And we know that it's coinciding with the time that everybody is elated.
So for Glo to engage its customers with this promotion, we're here also to witness that one of the draws has been held and that the awards are being duly given.
The right things have been done from the time they approached us on this, and we gave our authorization to carry out this promo.
Globacom had since 2003 remained committed to providing its customers with world-class communications and digital services through constant deployment of latest technologies. In Lagos, Lynn Lenake, NTA News.
Congratulations to the winners there. Of course, I must say that Christmas will be really soft for them. All right, moving on to other stories. The first batch of 50 cadets under the National Seafarers Development Program, NSDP, to be trained by the NLG Shipping and Maritime Services Limited, NSML, will soon be on their way to the United Kingdom to increase capacity in engineering. The NSML said the goal is to ensure that they return with certificates of competence while shaping career in the shipping and marine sector. Michael Olalaye reports.
Though the major responsibility of the NLNG Shipping and Marine Services Limited is to monitor and enforce compliance with flag and port state requirements in conformity with global standards. Its interest in the Seafarers Development Program is driven by zeal and interest in ensuring that Nigeria seafarers have the baseline capacity while upgrading and keeping abreast of new developments at every stage. Presently, the NSML is the largest employer of Nigerian seafarers with over 800 on its record. And this collaboration with the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency will expose the cadets to training at the South Shield Marine School in the United Kingdom, including workshop skills for a period of 12 months.
Seafaring, as has been said, is primarily about safety. It's about ensuring that assets are operated and run safely. So really developing the competence and capacity of those people who do the job is quite critical.
And you have the platform where you can actually get to the peak of what you have set out to do.
The selection process of the 50 cadets was done by NIMASA after training of 200 of them from the Romania Academy.
The signing of the training agreement between the two parties for the first batch of the Romanian trade cadets will go a long way into ensuring that all the backlogs of Romanian cadets awaiting COC are cleared.
The NSDP now has like a one-stop arrangement where whoever starts sees the group to the finish.
We will actually do our best to make the NIMASA proud, LNG proud, and also represent Nigeria in United Kingdom, where we are going to.
As an integrated marine service provider, NSML said it has attained 89% Nigerialization, which means its ships and vessels are operated and manned by Nigerians. In Lagos, Michael Olalaye, NTA News.
Time for another break. Please stay with us. Glad to have you back. Capacity development is key to improved service delivery. If we agree on this, then the establishment of an African Aviation and Aerospace University in Abuja is a sure way to boost technical capacity and safety of the Nigerian airways. What if I tell you that the government is committed to further expanding the faculties and safety programs of the university? That should put the institution in good stead as an excellent aviation educational institution. Well, that's exactly what is going on, as the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, stated during his visit to the university in Abuja. Aliyu Kabir reports.
The African Aviation and Aerospace University AAAU is the first Pan-African University of Aviation, Aerospace Development and Environmental Science, created by the federal government of Nigeria with the aim of providing the requisite knowledge in research and development, as well as boosting human capacity within the Africa's aviation industry. The visit of the minister to the temporary site of the university is to get a first-hand information and to further demonstrate the commitment of the government towards the fulfillment of its promises of positioning Nigeria as a hub of aviation in Africa, with the attention focusing on the development of the permanent site. The minister, who was conducted around various sections of the university, expressed confidence with the commencement of the academic activities in the institution, with the first intake of the student already in session.
Soon I will try and see the DG of the NSIB to see how much space we can create to accommodate the directive given by Mr. President to myself that we should begin the process of the search of a substantive Vice Chancellor.
For now, we have a BSc Aviation Business and a BSc Meteorology. Those that are eligible to apply for the BSc programs, as a university in Nigeria, we're being regulated by the NUC and being guided by JAM.
The university offers relevant aviation courses in both undergraduate and postgraduate programs. In Abuja, Aliyu Kabir, NTA News.
The Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, Adegboyega Oyitola, says access roads leading to the ports in Nigeria play a pivotal role in the efficiency of the ports. And to this end, he wants his counterpart in the Ministry of Works, David Umahi, to assist in undertaking an urgent, comprehensive repair and maintenance program for all dilapidated roads leading to ports in the country. The minister, during a visit to the Works Ministry, says the condition of the roads, numbering 15, are making importers and exporters experience high transportation costs, prolonged transit times, and heightened risk of accidents, thereby impeding national economic growth, discouraging foreign investment and hindering international trade. The roads cut across Lagos Port Complex, Tinkan Island Port, Calabar New Port, Delta Port and Onne Port. Some of the access roads are 1.6 kilometers dual carriage road within the Lagos Port Complex, 3 kilometers Tinkan Island access road, 15.3 kilometers LMA Junction, Trailer Park Junction dual carriageway at Onne Port, and 3.1 kilometers FOT roundabout, single carriageway also at Onne Port. The Works Minister promises to take the matter up without further delay. Looking at other news now. Once upon a time, Peugeot and Volkswagen vehicle brands assembled in Nigeria were the pride of Nigerians and kings on Nigerian roads. Oh yes. Sadly, the narrative has changed, and now Nigeria spends billions of naira yearly on vehicle importation, leaving local manufacturers struggling to stay in business with high cost of raw materials and production. But the good news now is that all that is about to change as the government is reinforcing policies and measures to shape the future of the automotive industry. Comfort Amodu reports on the latest step to improve productivity for exports.
In 2016, Nigeria signed the Paris Accord on the mitigation of greenhouse gases, initiated the National Gas Expansion Program in 2022, and adopted a new National Automotive Industry Development Plan in May this year. Consequently, the industry has witnessed notable growth and development, propelled by improved consumer demand, government policies, and entry of new players into the market. Despite the growing number of locally manufactured vehicles, the importation of used vehicles components stands in the way of the sector fulfilling its obvious potential.
We are appealing to the government to meet those who are coming in with the goods to us or to the consumer or to the finisher. Them are the ones that are supposed to stop them.
The National Automotive Design and Development Council, NADDC, is working with relevant agencies, including the Customs Service, to introduce an age limit for vehicles entry into the country beginning second quarter of 2024.
Even the president is talking about clean environment. That's why we are talking about CNG, talking about EV. And for us to take a step toward that clean environment, the older the vehicle, the older the emission. If what you are producing now is 10% of the local demand, it means you have 90% to supply.
Because if you are bringing in, fully built vehicles, there's no content that you can create. We need to implement policies that will compel industry operators, to delete parts and locally, produce our components.
The Automotive Council is also engaging key players on the implementation of the Nigerian Automotive Industry Development Plan 2023 to optimally develop the steel sector, spare parts market, and the petrochemical industry through 2033 to set the stage for local manufacturing. In Abuja, Comfort Amodu, NTA News.
That would be interesting, I must tell you. And from cars, let's talk about motor parks. In ordinary sense, a motor park is a take-off point and arrival destination for the services of intercity commercial transit vehicles. In the real sense of it, however, it is one big multi-purpose hub that stimulates the economy, thereby touching on the destiny of many more that are not even on the direct chain of commuting business. Zainab Adam in Maiduguri peeps into the newly remodeled Bama Motor Park in Maiduguri Metropolis. Let's take a peep.
This is the third place Bama Motor Park has been shifted to since creation in the 1970s. Bama Motor Park is named after one of the local government areas of Borno State as a result of its popularity and frequent visits by its people to the metropolis. With protracted insurgency that crippled economic activities in the state for over a decade, this edifice was built by Governor Babagana Umar Azlim to revive economic activities in the state. With 10 days ultimatum for motorists and traders to relocate into the park, full compliance has been recorded and commercial activities have commenced in earnest in the informal sector for commuting and employment opportunities.
We now have parking lots with adequate security and everything is normal now. We thank God that our leaders have us at heart, helping us at all times. We can now travel from here to Goza safely.
Chairman Nigerian Union of Road Transport Workers, NURTW, Borno State Chapter, Bamai Mustafa says this park connects travelers to all local government areas in southern Borno and states like Damaturu, Adamawa, Bauchi, Kano, as well as border towns of Chad and Cameroon.
This park is spacious. We thank God because many people will reap benefits from it.
Residents and travelers said the new park comes as a relief to them.
The old, we find it difficult to access, but this is okay.
Two parks are okay since transport fare remain the same.
Other business owners are optimistic that things will gradually change for the better.
Some of us don't have shops, but we are expecting to get some relief.
We, the food sellers, are all giving shops. We thank God.
Beyond the value addition of safety and convenience, this motor park is intended by the government to contribute to the economic resuscitation of the state for a better Borno. In Maiduguri, Zainab Adam, NTA News.
Zainab, I'll be glad if you go to that park tomorrow. I'm sure with the new announcement of a cut in fares, that park will be very full tomorrow. All right, let's look at other stories, but this is not too cheering, as a 3-year-old boy is among the 3 victims that lost their lives as a result of accident involving articulated vehicles at Unguwa Shanu Bridge along Amadu Bello Way in Kaduna Metropolis. Dawuda Mohammed reports.
Accident, according to eyewitnesses' accounts, the driver of the articulated truck that rammed into the stationary one impounded by the Kaduna State Traffic and Environmental Law Enforcement Agency, Castella, was coming from Funtua, Kaduna State, en route Lagos.
On our road going to Lagos, in Kaduna State,
We found Castelia Gate. They cross motor on the road. We try to avoid them, but they put a very big stone on the road.
Castella said my offense is passing through Kaduna at night, so they impounded my vehicle, removed my battery and demanded 100,000 naira from me, and I begged them to collect 10,000 naira and they refused. So when the other trailer came, they were trying to stop it and it crashed.
Those rescued were initially rushed to a nearby hospital before being referred to Barodiko Teaching Hospital.
One baby was brought dead, which was certified by doctor.
Efforts to get clarification on the cause of accident from Kaduna State Traffic and Environmental Law Enforcement Agency was unsuccessful. However, Kaduna State Sector Commander, Federal Road Safety Corps, Kabir Yusuf Nadabo says concerned authorities and other stakeholders have to synergize to reduce carnage on the roads.
From what we had, and operatives of Castelia stopped one of the truck, maybe for traffic infractions, and maybe they were trying to stop the other one coming, and the driver, tried to dodge,
He advised motorists and other road users to always obey traffic rules and road signs. In Kaduna, Dauda Mohammed, NTA News.
Very sad development there. There's need to exercise caution on the roads, especially this season. Graduates of Legislative Mentorship Initiative are advised to contribute to building a brighter future for Nigeria. Vice President Kashim Shettima stated this when graduating class of the second cohort, led by the Chief of Staff to the President and former Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajagbeamila, visited him at the presidential villa. State House correspondent Abdurrahman Jibrila brings us details.
This set of young Nigerians having the opportunity to interact with the Vice President, sharing their knowledge and experience in the Legislative Mentorship Initiative. The goal is to train the future generation of lawmakers and ethical public servants who will improve the quality of public service and promote a new era of good governance in Nigeria. Vice President Kashim Shettima acknowledged the country's current challenges, offering a resolute vision for overcoming them, specifically praising the graduates' digital prowess, encouraging them to leverage their skills for national development. After the interactive session, their newfound sense of purpose and national pride have the potential to transform the nation's landscape.
Being here has just inspired us, helping us know that, okay, our dreams are possible, and for people to achieve this kind of feats, then we also can. And especially for him to clear his schedule to make out time to speak with us, we don't take that for granted. We know that he's a very busy person, and he understands the importance of grooming youth for the future. And so him taking this time to see us has really inspired us and solidified our resolve into working towards nation building.
Founder of the Legislative Mentorship Initiative, Femi Gbajagbeamila, said the generation of young men and women in the cohort is a generation like no other, coming from a pool of over 5,000 applicants and expected to have an ecosystem nurtured to present excellent leadership. From the State House, Abdurrahman Jibrila, NTA News.
And from the State House here in Abuja, we head to the coal city where the National Security Advisor, Malam Nuhu Ribadu, has restated President Tinubu's commitment to prioritize the welfare of law enforcement agencies in the country. The Security Advisor stated this at the inauguration of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission's Zonal Office in Enugu. Chimaroke Ugu reports.
Inaugurating the EFCC Enugu Zonal Command Complex for use, the National Security Advisor Malam Nuhu Ribadu restated the federal government's commitment to the war against insecurity and corruption in the country. He commended the efforts of Enugu State government at restoring normalcy in the state by fighting insecurity.
We thank those who are playing critical role to make us all feel that we are all Nigerians and we are all equal and we are doing things to improve ourselves.
And my vision is to ensure that staff in all the FCC outposts work in decent offices with facilities that compare with other law enforcement organizations anywhere in the world.
Governor Peter Mbahu commended the efforts of the anti-graft agency in the fight against corrupt practices, promised a robust collaboration.
It's clear that corruption has to be brought down to the barest minimum within the state. This thinking informs my administration's support of the efforts to rebuild the zonal office.
The construction of the zonal office followed the fire incident that destroyed vital office equipment of the agency. In Enugu, Chimaroke Ugu, NTA News.
Let's now talk agriculture, as the federal government is adopting modern irrigation technology towards boosting the country's food production output. This came to the fore at a technical session and unveiling of a roadmap in achieving irrigation farming for food security and export. Usman Zubairu reports.
And the general public.
This is a combination of 5 years in-depth research on irrigation farming in Nigeria. The research was documented to serve as reference point for farmers, policymakers, and researchers. The book covers wetland management, cultivation, and soil management.
With this research work, there will be increase in productivity, there will be better management of our water resources.
We'll have better understanding of the best way to continue with the practice. So that's really what necessitated these research activities that have taken 5 years to complete.
If I have a land, my neighbor has a small land, I can give my land to him, so that this year, if I farm the land, I can get maybe large quantity of the...
But now, due to that research, we now see improvement in the use of that land.
Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Water Resources and Sanitation, Didi Wilson-Jack, says government in collaboration with World Bank initiated the teaming project designed to improve access to irrigation and agricultural productivity.
A book which we believe would be a real resource for policymakers, for farmers, for researchers, and the general public.
The workshop is expected to offer an opportunity for networking and collaboration among key players, create a robust and interconnected agricultural ecosystem. In Abuja, Osman Zubairu, NTA News.
There's need to promote agriculture in this country, because if agriculture goes wrong, nothing else will have a chance to go right. All right, away from agriculture, now the relationship between the Police Service Commission and the Nigeria Police Force will continue to be cordial and void of any rift. Chairman, Police Service Commission Solomon Arase gave the assurance at a forum with staff of the commission in Abuja. Francis Form reports.
9 months after being at the helm of affairs, Chairman of the Commission, Solomon Arase, says the story of the Commission is different compared to the inglorious past in the life of the Commission, with over 130 staff of the Commission being trained both locally and internationally, as well as the relationship between the Commission and the Nigeria Police is cordial.
For sure, desert days are in the Commission, and I must emphasize that under my watch, the welfare of our staff cannot be compromised or traded off for anything. Your joy is my joy, and your concerns me a lot of worry and sleepless nights. Be assured that I will not rest on my oars until we reach that point in the Commission when we can gladly shout, "Ureke."
He assured the staff of the Commission that a draft revised scheme of service has also been prepared, and negotiation at both personal and official levels of contact have been activated at ensuring that it is approved for the Commission. Francis from NTA News.
Sunset is the seeming lowering of the sun below the horizon, but in the Nigerian Navy, it has a different connotation, and it involves the tradition of lowering a ship's ensign. The formal ceremony, which traces its origin to the 16th century, was replicated at the Naval Unit Abuja with much pomp and pageantry. Defense correspondent Najato Tijani fills us in.
A perfect picture of the sun dipping below the horizon, casting hues of orange and pink across the Abuja sky. But this isn't just nature's canvas, it's the backdrop for the Nigerian Navy ceremonial sunset, a dazzling display which celebrates the achievements of the Nigerian Navy as the sun sets for 2023.
As well as to honor personnel who have distinguished themselves in various capacities during the course of the year. It also affords us the opportunity to celebrate the resilience, commitment, and unwavering dedication of our officers and ratings.
We all have reasons to socialize together and commend the efforts of the Nigerian Navy.
The sun may be setting in the horizon for 2023, but it is expected to herald wider horizons in 2024 for the Nigerian Navy. Naja'atu Tijani, NTA News.
Another break is due. Please remain with us. Taking the service to the people is a saying which took a whole new meaning when the Defense Space Administration Officers' Wives Association provided healthcare services for members of Kayami District in the FCT. Defense correspondent Naja'atu Tijani has more.
Come rain or sunshine, sober moments or festive ones, their husbands are always defending the fatherland. While they serve in the front lines, their wives serve quietly behind the scenes. This time, service for the military wives has come in the form of providing healthcare to members of Kami community.
This is our host community where we have our accommodation.
Amidst the festive decorations and twinkling lights this Yuletide, the Defense Space Administration Officers' Wives Association is giving hope to the needy.
This objective is achieved by educating our children, empowering women, and helping the less privileged in the society.
From free health checks to the distribution of vital medication, the medical outreach is to address the healthcare needs of vulnerable individuals during this festive season. Naja'atu Tijani, NTA News.
Family, friends and sympathizers converged on Lagos for a special Thanksgiving service in honor of one of their own, late controllers Nigeria Immigration Service, Blessing Ndidi Frank Owele, who died on November 21st, 2023. Diana Adele reports that the deceased was recently laid to rest at her husband's home town, Awobia, Anambra State, northeast Nigeria.
It was a reflection of a life well lived as members of St. Charles Borromeo Catholic Church, Lagos, played host to different personalities who came together for a special Thanksgiving service after the successful burial of their beloved sister, Lady B, as fondly called, and to show their last respect to a woman who they described as an amazing and caring mother to all who came in contact with her. In his message, Reverend Father Emmanuel Ohai charged the congregation to put their trust in God, as there is life after death for those who believe completely in God.
Life is never ended. My dear friends in Jesus,
although death is inevitable, there are some individuals who many we should live forever, and that was her relatives and close associates felt towards late Blessing Owele.
I always call her in-law. It's a pity that she had gone.
I'll miss everything about her. I'm going to miss traveling with her. I used to go out with her a lot, so now I'm not going to be able to do it anymore.
As a sister-in-law, was a very calm, calculated, and strong woman.
For late Blessing's husband, Chief Frank Owele, the beautiful memories they shared as a couple will always remain in his heart.
Blessing was all I wanted in a wife and a woman. The passing of Blessing has really diminished me. And if there's anything like reincarnation, I would also marry Blessing again.
Until her death, Blessing Ndidi Frank Owele was a controller of immigration and a dedicated Christian of the Catholic faith.
She was so kind. She was humble. She hasn't even retired before this death, but God knows the best.
You know, there are some women, when you come to their house, they will say, oh, that man has come, wahala. But with her, you are welcome.
Born in 1953, Blessing Owele died at the age of 56, and she is survived by her husband, children, and relatives. In Lagos, Diana Ajale, NTA News.
Another break is due. The Nigerian Armed Forces will continue to eliminate criminals and safeguard the Nigeria's territorial integrity to uphold the legacy of the nation's fallen heroes. The Minister of Defense, Mohammed Badaru Abubakar, stated this in a message at the burial of the former Chief of Army Staff, Major General Muhammad Chris Ali.
Major General MC Ali retired, obviously achieved significant influence on the professionalism and the repositioning of the Nigerian Army to be a force to reckon with in both regional and global scenes. To this end, we indeed owe him a duty to promote the values that he connected as we entirely pursue national peace, development, and unity for our people.
General Chris Ali did not retire until his last breath. General MC Ali exhibited an unrivaled sense of duty and dedication to service. His love and passion for the Nigerian Army was evident in all his doings.
So Major General Muhammad Chris Ali was laid to rest at the National Military Cemetery, Abuja, and he is the 15th Chief of Army Staff. The death has been announced of William Dalong, father of the former Minister of Youth and Sports Development, Solomon Dalong. Mr. Dalong died at the age of 105 and was until his death on Monday, 18th December 2023, a retired Director of Health with the Taraba State Local Government Service Commission. A statement by the family describes his death as a double tragedy for the family, as the matriarch and mother to the former sports minister, Mama Naukat Ya Chiram, died after a brief illness less than 3 weeks ago at the age of 90. The statement adds that Pa Dalong and his wife will both be buried on Saturday, 23rd December 2023. The late retired Deputy Comptroller General of the Nigerian Immigration Service, His Royal Highness Vincent Duru, has been buried in his hometown, Olu, Imo State. In a statement, the Comptroller of Immigration and spokesman for the family, Chief Tony Akuneme, on behalf of the Comptroller General of Immigration, described the deceased as a shining star and pioneer commandant of the prestigious Immigration Training Academy in Kano, established in 1980. The late Duru was later seconded to Gambia as the pioneer Comptroller General of the Gambia Immigration Service, and upon his return to Nigeria in 1985. He provided extensive knowledge and experience towards the uplifting of the NIS curriculum until he bowed out of service in 1996. And that concludes News Extra tonight. Many thanks for being a part of it. Have a good night.